What's up, guys? Ronnie G from the Broad Street Trades. Back at another swing alert recap. Let's just jump right into it. Yeet. All right, as you guys can see here, um, I didn't have such a great week. It could have been a lot worse, and it wasn't. But it could have been a lot. It could have been a lot worse. So to start off the week, after we took Pfizer calls, 39 calls for 618 for $1.28, and I'll show you what I was seeing there. So Pfizer was actually in this demand zone here, and it was consolidating on top of this demand zone for a little while here. And from what I observed over the years, is that when something's like consolidating this demand zone, typically what happens is that price eventually comes out of it the next day or maybe end of the day or something like that. And obviously that wasn't the end result. But I alerted to get an enter right here around this area right here where I was thinking that it's probably going to be a double bottom and then we get a recovery and push off. But then the next day we open up, sells off real hard, real hard. I alerted to average down here. Price decides to push up, looking like it was going to be a green trade, and then sellers stepped right back in and sold off. I alerted to exit right here as we were breaking through this demand zone. This is where you want to exit. And as you can see, what was a demand zone now then became a supply zone, and now it's sold off. Good thing we got out when we did. It wound up selling off a lot more the next few days. Um, so that's all a good thing. But it was a big loser. It probably shouldn't have been in hindsight. But Pfizer and Abbott both had the same setup. If I go to ABT, granted we didn't take trade, and I hate to talk hypotheticals, but so Abbott same setup. So here's Monday. It was pulling into this demand zone here. Could have took Abbott here long, and then look, we'd have caught this move or some of this move, and didn't. And that's just the nature of the beast. But Abbott, Pfizer both had the same setup, which gave me confirmation that I should take Pfizer. But Pfizer had more liquidity, and I chose that one over Abbott. But it happens. Whatever. Took a loss. Wasn't a huge loss, but it was more than it probably should have been. Given how it was only a 1 day swing. But anyways, so Pfizer basically a 29% loser for a total of $148 loss. Next was CCL. This this is the first time I took two losses straight in weeks. Wow, didn't even notice that. But anyways, CCL here 27.50 puts at $1.05 a piece. Show you what I was seeing there. Maximize this, and I'll just make that smaller. So CCL gets in the supply zone. Cruise lines and airlines have been really strong, and I'm actually really bullish on them going forward. Obviously, with COVID not going away, but the more people getting vaccinated, so COVID is becoming more easier to maintain. So obviously things like airlines, cruises, things that's going to all the opening up stocks will actually be more profitable. But anyways, so CCO pulls up to a supply zone, starts to reject it, and this is where you would have caught it, and I would love had caught it for a day trade, but obviously this is your best entry. So price come down, it actually pulls back up, creates like a double top here, and then I alert to get in around this area when I noticed it was going to create a bull flag. A bear flag. Once it started to create this bear flag, this is when I felt comfortable to alerting it, and we did sell off towards the end of the day, but pulled up a little bit more into close, which is whatever. Overnight session news, some news come out about cruise lines that they were taking basically reservations, if I'm not mistaken, which shouldn't affect the stock that much, and it didn't in the short term. Then next day we sells off, looks great at the when market open, but immediately buyers stepped in as it got that 200 EMA support, and it just kind of channeled upwards all day, and then wicked through my stop and then sold off. As it did this, I was immediately like, oh man, there it goes. It's gonna sell off, and I just cut myself short, and then it double topped really, and I was thinking, man, it's really gonna sell off. But good thing I stuck to my rules and my stop loss. As the following day market opens up, price just yeets up and pulls back a little bit. But obviously our contracts would have been cooked, especially even if we'd have held a little bit longer. So obviously I'm glad I took the exit when I took, even though it was a loser. I'm glad we took that exit. Let me click. Let me show you that one. Here we go. So next up, DE. We took the 380 calls for June 18th at $2.06. Show you what I was seeing there. So D came down to this demand zone, as you can see here. Get my tools up. Came down to this demand zone. I really wanted this entry here, but for some whatever reason, it slipped my mind, and I forgot to keep my eye on DE, which is okay. That happens or whatever like that. So came down to this demand zone, and as we were pulling down here into close, I really wanted this trade because I didn't want it to push down to the overnight session into the man zone, and I never get the entry. Even though this is a huge zone, and I like to play the whole zone most of the time, but in my mind, it was get in here. It was get in here, possibly scale in some more, and then play the move back out. But didn't have to do that. Next day, price move opens up nicely. Get out of the most of the contracts up here. I think at 270, and then price pulled back and it hit a stop loss that I had of like 240 or something like that, 230. But then price wound up coming back, running off, but it didn't get on a full run. So I'm actually looking for a re-entry here on DE. But this was definitely the trade of the week. We got in at $2.06. A lot of people got better fills than I did, which is okay by me. But a lot of people got better fills, like $1.80, $1.90, and if I'm not mistaken, it did hit a high of 285, 295. So I basically sniped the top on my first exit for a total return of almost 24%, $147 profit. Didn't wipe out both these losers, but hey, knocked out one. PNC was the last trade we actually opened and closed for the week. So we got into 200 calls, June 18 200 calls for $1.58. Show you what I was seeing there. Maximize. So PNC sold off here on this new demand that just recently got created here. Sold off, pulled into this demand zone, like I said, that it recently created. Uh, I alerted the entry somewhere around here, and towards the end of the day and into market close, pushed up. But then market opens up Friday. It holds this trend line that I had alerted the average down here, and as you can see, price went up pushing up and hitting some resistance here. This day's high broke through that finally, but the contracts just was never gaining premium as much as they should have been, which was kind of concerning because then that means if it sold off even slightly against us, then our contracts lose a lot. So I took my stop loss, which was down here as 191.78, and I moved it up here so that way this trade can go right against us. But I wound up luckily sniping the exit here towards the end to close. All of us was in the Discord was literally watching this final minutes of the day, trying to get out, trying to get filled for $2, but couldn't. I limited down to 185 and immediately got filled when I did that. So I was super happy. I just wanted to just take some exposure off going into the 3-day weekend, which Monday could come and then I'll be pissed off that I sold, because if you look here on the big trend here, so it's got this nice pendant that is creating, getting real tight, and this doesn't have TTM squeeze, but this chart does. I'll show you real fast on this chart. PNC. Go to the 4-hour again. So as you can see here, it's squeezing here on the 4-hour, and it looked like it's going to go bullish here. So this actually might fire to the upside, and I might have just missed out on some gains there by cutting so soon. But I'd rather much play it safe and lock in the profits that we have now than speculate the profits that we could have later. And going to the 3-day weekend, very comfortable position sizing, as we do have an open position right now with LVS. So got out of most of my position at 17% profit for a total of right now $54. We'll see. Maybe this might be a break-even trade, or maybe it's a loser. Maybe we open up Tuesday and it's gap down, but we'll see. So that's for the week. So these are days. Let's go to the week. So I actually had my first red week since the end of Feb, beginning of March. That's actually kind of crazy to think about, that I finally had a red week in like 10 weeks here. So basically 2 months, my first red week in a while. Month was still green, cleared 22%, $527 on an account, cleared 22%. The account's now sitting at $2,900. Here's the win rate. Average win, average loser. Here you go. So this total profit is $2,400 plus the $500 starting with, so a total of $2,900. As you can see, this is exactly what you want to see with consistency. You want to see these 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 nice stair stepping up. Have it. You have a couple rough days, but you make it back. You have a couple rough days, you get it back. You have some phenomenal days, give some of it back, no problem. As long as you stair stepping up, as long as you consistently having this stair step up, you're in good hands here. You're a good company by consistently having that profit here, because then you learn, because your profit curve is just going to snowball at some point, and you're just going to really start seeing gains here as you scale up more and more and more with your position size. And that's my favorite thing about trading, is that it's a scalable business, and the scaling all actually comes down to you. It's all about finding the strategy, in my opinion. But that's it for now with that. So if you'd like to get swings like this, alerts like this, or like to just join the Discord, that'll be in the description below. We're constantly in there talking stocks, options, finance, stuff like that. So you'll join the Discord, you'll go up to gold sign up, you'll click this and sign up here. But we're constantly always talking in the chat, and stuff like that about things that's going on, what we think about trading, and things like that. Until next time, guys, take care.